Hey there, it's your pal Brian McLeod, and I'm here because I want to show you a little inside tour of everything we've got inside here for you for the Warrior Live Networking Event Video Archive. Now, this represents the culmination of, all of the work that my partner Sam England and I put together to do these live events for you. It's been an amazing experience, but as you know, the most recent one in March, Warrior Event 2014, was our last Warrior event, as it were. And so we've collected all of the videos, which represent nearly 100 of the top marketers in the business at this point. I think there's 86 actual presenters. I'm not sure the exact number. I think it's around 86 actual presenters. And when you add all the expert panelists, it comes to nearly 100 of the top people. But I thought the easiest way to explain the value here is rather than just go on and on about, how it's going to change your life and all the things that you're going to learn. All that's true, but you've heard all that before. More importantly, you probably just want to know, what are you going to get if you come inside, right? So let's show you. I'm in the members area. When you sign up, this is where you're going to land. You're going to come in and you're going to be in the members dashboard area, where we've made it really easy for you to jump around and jump to the different events. Eric Louviere, the original creator of the Warrior event itself back in 2008, has generously donated the videos from his original Warrior event, and those are in there as well for you as a bonus. But Warrior event 2011 and on, this was our first Warrior event, Sam and I, in Raleigh. Warrior event 2012 in Raleigh the next year, 2012 Orlando in the fall of 2012. Then the following year, Warrior event 2013 also in Raleigh, and then this most recent event, Warrior 2014 in March in Raleigh. And so let's just take a peek. I'll show you around how you get around. Number one, I guess the first thing is welcome and how to use the site. From the members dashboard, you can always grab this link and jump in here and just get a brief rundown on how to get around, what to do, where everything is. It'll make a quick note about making sure that you download the MP3 audios wherever possible, because to me, it's one of the best ways to access all of this material. There's a ton. There's hours and hours and hours. It's like a month's worth of video watching inside this archive. And, if you're like me, you don't really have a lot of free time to sit down and watch videos. But, the MP3s you can load up on your phone, stick them on your iPod, burn them to CD if you want, listen to them in the car while you're driving around, take them with you and listen at the gym while you're working out. While you're on the go, it's a great way to consume all of this great information and advice from so many of the thought leaders in our business. So let's take a peek at Warrior Event 2014. Let's start with the newest video, and I'll show you one by one. Obviously, you can go here in each module for each of the events. You can go through and see all the different speakers, but let's start with Brian Zimmerman. He was our first speaker at the first Warrior event. He was our first speaker at the last Warrior event. We start with Brian Zimmerman, and he's going to give you a whole rundown on some of his productivity secrets and being able to get as much done as possible during your busy day. I mean, we all need to know that. EBR, Brian Rose, co-founder of JV Zoo also. He goes into his product with Brad Goss, and it's an exciting look into how to generate authority, fame, getting well known in your market, and how to grab attention. It's a great session, really a lot of fun. You're going to love that one. Telman Knutson, 8-figure marketer, a master hypnotist, one of the sharpest guys in this business, has been in this business a very long time, very, very successful. And Telman works diligently with entrepreneurs to help remove some of their mental blocks, some of their personal brain trash that hold them back from achieving everything that they want to achieve. And so that's what the topic of this session is about, and what you're going to learn. Matt Basak, let's talk about Matt for a minute. Another 8-figure marketer, one of the biggest list builders in the world. Really knows list building upside down and backwards, and that's what he's going to talk to you about: how to generate massive lists, how to monetize those lists, how to make maximum money with list building. Ryan McKinney, sort of an underground guy. Not a lot of people know Ryan except for those of us in the business who have worked with him before. Ryan generates leads like you would not believe for huge large capital funding businesses that are, we're talking, businesses looking for $100 million in funding. Ryan generates those leads through YouTube and Google Hangouts, and he's going to share those secrets with you. Hugely valuable session there. Greg Caesar, another sort of underground, super well-known guy, a paid traffic master, and works with apps and a bunch of different things. Super well-known guy to those who are in the business, but if you've never heard of Greg before, don't feel bad. A lot of people don't know him. Great guy, and he's going to blow your mind about traffic. If you've ever struggled getting traffic to your website, you need to pay very close attention to this session. Chip Cooper Esquire, attorney at law, internet marketing attorney Chip Esquire from DigiContracts, gives us a real sobering look at the realities of legal compliance and making sure that you are on the right side of the law in this business. And it may not be the sexiest of topics, but it's critically and crucially important. Now, the expert panel from day one was one of my personal favorites from this particular event. We had Brad Spencer, Greg Caesar, Matt Basak, Armin Morin, you can see laughing there, Joel Comm, Reed Florin, Dan Nickerson, and Laura Catella on this expert panel. And this was really just an amazing time. You're going to love this session. You really want to watch this. In the middle of it, Armin just blows this guy's mind. First time attendee, really just getting started, didn't know what to do, started to go down completely the wrong track, and Armin just sort of shut him down, talked about what the guy already knew, and showed him where he almost, walked right into a huge sand pit that so many marketers make, and how to get himself back on track with what he already knows. You got to watch that one. Heather Claus, another veteran web developer and marketer since the late 90s. She's the creator of Nookie Notes, and is going to talk about mobile app development and developing her first mobile app. And of course, if you're interested in getting into the mobile space, you want to learn from her there. One of my personal favorites, Michelle Spiva. I always say Spiva, but it's Spiva. Michelle describes herself as a chocolate Wonder Woman. And she's going to inspire you. She is so great. I mean, if you don't watch this and feel great about yourself, about who you are, what you're trying to do, and about life in general, check your pulse. She is so inspirational, so much fun. I love her so much, and I know you will too. Joel Comm, again, a legend of internet marketing. What has Joel not done? Just best-selling author. He's, owner of many different web properties and web services. He's created the iFart app, one of the first apps for the iPhone way back in the day. And once upon a time, that thing was doing like $9,000 a day in revenue. I mean, just amazing. Joel's been speaking online and been an entrepreneur for so long. There's really not much Joel has not had his fingers in at some point in time. So you're definitely going to want to watch this one. A lot of fun. Eric Louvier, I'm really proud that we got him to come out and be part of this last Warrior event, because again, it kind of brings it around full circle. Eric was the very first, was the creator of the very first Warrior event. And so we got him to come out, and Eric teaches the truth about internet marketing so well. It's so honest and raw, and you just simply aren't going to get a more real look at what it's about and how to go from struggling to really making a lot of money. Eric has been up and down and back and forth and around the block in every way imaginable. And I have nothing but great respect for this cat. Love that guy, and so glad that he came out to do it. Now, Nick Lapola, you may know from Simple Video Pro. This was his first time speaking on stage. A lot of these people, this was their first stage experience, and you'll see that throughout all the rest of the events as well. But this was Nick's first live speaking engagement. Nick is the creator of Simple Video Pro, a very popular web video player and hosting app, or plugin, I guess you'd say, for WordPress. At the time, this was the number one best-selling WSO of all time. I believe that still may be the case. I'm not sure, but either way, you definitely want to watch this session. Nick's a great guy, and you'll really get a lot out of that. And then we wound up the whole event and the second day, with expert panel for day two, which included Eric Louvier, Wes Harrison, our intrepid videographer, the guy who is responsible for capturing all of the videos from all of these events. Here is this guy right here, Wes Harrison, who we appreciate so much. Wes is the one who shoots and edits and puts these videos together for us. But what a lot of people don't know is Wes is also a very successful, high-earning lead generator. He came into this business as an owner of an auto repair shop, and got really tired of that business and got tired of just kind of getting ripped off by his employees and all the hassles of running an auto repair shop. But he used all of that he had learned about generating business for himself and leads for himself to help other local marketers do that. And so Wes has a lot to share, and we're glad we could get him on there. You see Mike Lance from Warrior Plus, as well as Mike Filsame, legendary marketer Mike Filsame joins us. Omar Martin as well, and Lena Trevetti, both previous speakers from previous Warrior events, are also on the panel. And Mike, I got to say, Mike shares so much great insight and wisdom in this session. It could be its own product. There's a reason why Mike's a guru, and you're going to learn from him directly in this session what that's about. So that's Warrior Event 2014, and we're just getting started, folks. I'm going to zoom through the rest of these because I don't want to bore you. But taking a look at Warrior Event 2013, we've got Ken MacArthur from JV Alert, and he's going to show you how to actually create value right out of thin air. He grabs $100 in cash from Don Schenk in the audience, and then sits there and runs through an exercise of turning that in and stacking the value. So I think we got to over $10,000, maybe $11,000 in value from that original $100. You'll see when you watch the session. Our good friend Colin Terrio, master of the cult of copy. Here he is in his televangelist outfit. The beard is just starting to go here, and you'll see him in 2011, prior to the beard. But Colin's going to share all the lessons that he learned about building his cult. And it's really funny because at the time of doing the session in 2013, he was just, a couple thousand members, maybe. And there's over 11,000 people in the cult now. It's grown by leaps and bounds. So much to learn from Colin about doing that in that session. And number two, you can see for yourself where he is today. It just proves that it all works. Now, Omar Martin delivered what I think was, the number one fan favorite session from this particular event. It talks about the internet marketing revolution, picking which side of the line you're going to be in this business, and explains exactly how he was able to generate over $500,000 in WSO sales and how you can do it as well. Great session. Love Omar. What a great guy. Just a fantastic session. You're going to definitely want to check that out. Now, Lena Trevetti is a developer. She's created a lot of the themes and plugins and things that people have bought from a variety of popular marketers over the years. She's partnered with Sam. She's partnered with the two rock stars, Dr. Dan and Ben Littlefield, and a bunch of different marketers, and of course selling her own stuff as well. But Lena's going to teach you how to outsource and hire programmers and software developers the right way so you don't get burned and make sure that it works well for you. Gaz Cooper, our good friend from Thailand, expat, is going to tell you his story. I mean, he's well known for being an Amazon guy, and he's going to tell you the story of how he got into that, and of course, how he got into internet marketing in general, which I think a lot of people will be able to connect with because it's probably a similar journey to you. We go to expert panel day one, which included Balaji over here, another great success story of coming to the Warrior event, networking, meeting a ton of people, and kind of launching your own career. That's Jim Ducharme there from GetResponse, a former community director of GetResponse. Ty Cohen and Heather Claus. James Renoff, David Perdue from NAMS and My NAMS, another very popular live networking series and event. Here's the Mojo Video guys, Corey Sanchez and Ira Rosen, and of course Chip Cooper making his first appearance at the Warrior event last year. Then we've got Jay Benoit. I like to say Jay Benoit because it sounds more, more sophisticated, but apparently it's Jay Benoit. Anyway, Jay is going to talk to you about solo ads, and Jay is well known in the solo ad market. Really knows a ton about it. So if you want to learn how to kickstart your email marketing with solo ads, Jay is the guy to talk to. Now, Don Wilson, I don't need to tell you who Don is. Don is the Facebook king, and this is all pure content, this session from Don. If you've ever heard about Facebook ads cracked and Don's $1 million launch and how popular that was, Don lays a ton of it out right here in this session. So if you weren't able to get into Facebook ads cracked, or you want to figure out how Don does what he does, he lays it out for you real clearly here. Claude Whitaker, one of my favorite guys in the offline marketing space, real business owner, owns an actual vacuum and sweeper store, and teaches other local business owners through live speaking engagements and seminars how to get out there and generate leads and do business online. He's going to teach us about video and SEO for offline marketers. Our good friend Brad Spencer, has a great session. There's a hilarious sort of moment in the middle of this. I won't spoil it for you, but you crack up when you see it. Brad's a great guy, former mastermind partner of mine, and I put Brad on stage for the first time in 2011. I've been telling the world for years that Brad's a guy to watch, and it's really happening for him. At this point in his career, he was a business development director for Dr. Ben Adkins, another former Warrior Event speaker. So you're going to love what Brad has to say. And then we finish out the day with expert panel day 2, including Zane Miller, the YouTube king, and Hangout master. You know, if you ever want to know about the Hangouts, Zane's the guy to go to. There's Mario Brown, who we're going to meet in Warrior Event 2011 for his first live stage speaking experience, an absolutely riveting session. There's Will Perkins over there. He's been to every Warrior Event, kind of an underground affiliate and super affiliate guy, just does a ton of business. He used to run a web hosting company, and he's a perfect example of the young guns of online marketing. Will, I don't know, I think he's maybe 21, 22 years old. Young kid, super smart, super successful. You can definitely learn a lot from Will. There's Costas Pepis back there, another offline marketing master. EBR looking very, I don't know what it looks like he smells something bad over there, but E. Brian Rose from JV Zoo. You can't see him, but Teddy Garcia is there, another former speaker. Mike Lance from Warrior Plus, and Mick Ketor, the affiliate manager for Get Response, is on this panel as well. So you definitely want to watch that and check it out. Now we're going to jump over to Warrior Event 2012 Orlando, which was many ways our biggest event, certainly the largest number of attendees and the biggest room that we'd ever done the event in. My good pal Eric Stafford here starts us off in the morning talking about the Money brand, explaining how to build a brand, Madison Avenue style, how to use branding effectively in your marketing. You're going to love Eric. Dan Page, super well-known guy in certain circles, totally unknown in others, but fantastic business growth and business acceleration specialist, spoken at Yannick Silver's Underground, and just a really smart, very sharp individual, way outside the normal type of speaker for the Warrior crowd. So definitely pay attention if you're a business growth oriented type of person. Valerie Duvall, our dear friend Valerie, this was her first live speaking engagement, and we were proud to do that. She's going to talk about networking properly. You know, Valerie's a great networker and JV partner, so joint ventures and JVs, you definitely want to pay attention to what Valerie has to say. The funniest session of the day definitely goes to the one and only, thank God, the one and only Tim Castleman. Tim is going to show people how to kind of build up from a real low ticket type of business and build that up into a 5-figure or more per month business. Tim, super entertaining guy, a lot of fun, has a lot to share. He's a very shrewd business guy that kind of hides behind not really abrasive, but like a obnoxious kind of comedic personality. But don't let that put you off from the smarts that Tim really does have, and he shares a ton of really great strategies in this session. Our good friend Mike Cowles, one of the most prolific product creators, and definitely a guy who understands how to build your own ranch rather than go out and have everybody else do everything or sell everybody else's stuff. Mike just develops his own. So how to create your own successful products and services and do it all in-house is the topic of his session. And then we had Chris Winters, who just blew the room away. His story of personal transformation is incredibly inspiring. I mean, Chris is just a fantastic guy all the way around, and he's overcome some difficult but fairly common, personal issues and turned that into a remarkable success. You're going to love watching what he does with one of the attendees live on the stage. So definitely take a peek at that. Justin Brook, one of the smartest, sharpest traffic and paid media guys, lead generators that I know. I've masterminded with Justin years ago. He's a personal friend of mine, phenomenal guy. I was super thrilled that he agreed to come speak in Orlando for us, and he's going to show So many quick tips and tricks. I mean, he's going to blow your doors off with some of these really cheap traffic tricks that anybody can do. And I'm sure you've probably never heard of half of them. Now, Stephen Renton is well known for his his webinar alchemy product and his webinar trainings, as well as being a JV launch manager and sort of launch broker, a guy in the middle connecting people, one of the popular high net worth seller groups on Facebook. Stephen shares all of that with us live on stage. Teddy Garcia, who is Jay Abraham's webmaster, as well as, working with guys like Rich Sheffrin and Lifebook and a ton of really super successful businesses online. Teddy is going to show you the sales funnels that these guys use to generate millions of dollars online. And you really want to pay attention to what Teddy says. This is the guy who the top people in the business, when they need somebody to build out their sites and their digital properties, Teddy's the guy who gets that call. Todd Gross has become enormously popular and super successful as an affiliate through the power of video. And it makes sense because he's a veteran TV broadcaster, and he's brought with him all those years of experience. And he's going to show you how to do that, on video, how to use video effectively in your marketing. Can't learn from anybody better about that. Our pals, Dr. Dan Artabilly and Ben Littlefield, Rockstar Ben, two rock stars, are going to talk about partnerships and how they've teamed up together to create a sum that's greater than its parts. A really important lesson, how you can go out there and partner up and join forces with other people that in this market and create something amazing. They've created an amazing business together, and they're going to talk all about that. Alex Jeffries closed out our last session of this event. Amazing coach, super popular guy, great guy, and another incredible story of rags to riches, of starting with less than nothing, deep in the hole, and through belief in himself and hard work, turning that into an incredibly profitable business. Love his story. You'll love his story, and that's all waiting for you in the Warrior Event 2012 Orlando section. Let's zoom through 2012 Raleigh, which was another great year. This was the second event that Sam and I put on. We kicked it off with Brad Goss, none other than the chronic marketer himself. And of course, this session is all about how to be a high-functioning entrepreneur, wink, wink. The funny thing about Brad and that chronic marketer is that product, that whole concept was born at the Warrior Event 2011 in Raleigh. I was, in fact, in the room where that conversation sparked and where the whole idea from that came from. I was in the room when it was sparked. Take from that what you will, but long story short, that was the impetus, the creative catalyst for The Chronic Marketer, which is an incredibly great book, very popular, and Brad was knee-deep in the middle of promoting it at this point, so he's going to take you right through the whole process. What a great guy. Love what Brad has to teach. One of the smartest, sharpest guys in our space. Our good pal Anthony Aris, this was his first live marketing event or stage speaking before. The previous year, we met Anthony in 2011 as a total newbie to the Warrior crowd. He had been a successful marketer online in real estate and SEO and other things, but didn't really know anybody in the internet marketing space. Fast forward a year later, Anthony is a super popular affiliate and well-known product creator, and of course, we gave him his first stage speaking opportunity here to talk about using video and YouTube in particular. Our good friend Charles Kirkland, who is just another ninja like Justin Brook. Charles Kirkland's the other guy you got to know if you're in the know about paid media and paid traffic. He's going to talk about banner ads and building your list and doing things that, a lot of people skip over, but they're foolish because there's so much traffic out there to be able to get, and there really is nobody better to learn from than Charles. Charles is a personal mastermind partner of mine, and the first half of this whole year, I spent masterminding with Charles, and every single week, this guy blew our minds, and we're talking about an amazing crew that we had in this mastermind. These are all super experienced, high-level marketers, and each of us just kind of walked away with our jaw hanging open from listening to Charles. So pay very close attention to that session. My other good buddy, Kevin Rogers, the one and only copy chief nowadays, but back in 2012, This was our first opportunity to actually spend any time together in person. We'd known each other for years online, had done work together, but we'd never spent any time together because he was in Tampa or St. Pete and I was down in Miami. This was our first opportunity to get together in person, and Kevin and his writing partner, Ben Johnson, cracked the code on ClickBank, how to write number ones, how the guys, oops, who's calling me? Let's find out, shall we? It's Eric Stafford. Let's take his call live. Hold on, Eric Stafford. I'm recording I'm recording a video. In fact, hold on. Let me go back to Warrior Event 2012. This is a funny moment for the screen capture that I'm doing. I'm looking at your picture in the Warrior Event video archive. I just told everybody about you. And I'm sitting here making a ScreenFlow video, walking them through the members area for letting everybody know what's inside the members area. And here you just called. So what's going on, Eric Stafford?
Not too much, man. How's things going?
Super busy, super swamped, getting ready to open up the doors again for the full Warrior Event video archive and let people in so they can watch your awesome session on the Money brand, which kicked ass and took names.
So it's every video from every event all in one package.
All of the videos from all 5 of our Warrior events, plus Eric Louviere, the original creator of the Warrior event, has included all the videos from his original Warrior event in 2008 in Austin. So yeah, there's almost 100 speakers of the top marketers in the business inside this members area. And so I'm doing a quick video running them through everything that's in there. And how funny that you called.
All for one low price.
All for one low price. That's right. Hey, let me call you back when I finish telling these people what's inside.
Sounds good. I can't wait to see it. I'll definitely be picking it up.
Okay, bye, everybody. I'll call you back, E. Okay, so small, funny moment. I should have put my phone on mute, but actually I'm glad I didn't, because that way you got to hear from one of our speakers, none other than Easy E, Eric Stafford. Where were we? We were talking the Warrior event. We were talking about Kevin Rogers and his ClickBank upsell strategies and how these guys have generated number ones on ClickBank over and over again. Now, Balaji, he's his first speaking event as well. And Balaji the year before was just a guy in the audience who took the time to make the connections and work the room and work this networking opportunity. And, again, like Anthony, the next year he wound up back on stage as a speaker, and he shows you exactly how he did it. The important thing is it's not just a story. He shows you exactly how he did that through, step-by-step instructions in his presentation. The wonderfully talented, the lovely Rachel Rofe is going to share with you outsourcing product creation and how to use Kindle and CreateSpace to create books and increase your authority through authoring. Really great session. She's so good at this. Rachel is a fantastic outsourcer. She outsources, like going and getting her laundry done and picking up takeout soup. And I mean, anything you can imagine that can be outsourced, Rachel does it. So you're going to love her and this session. Our pal Dennis Becker from Earn 1K a Day fame. It's a great session for beginners on how to go from nothing to 6 figures and his whole story of how that happened, and just a really good session all the way around for those new to the business. Barry Plaskow and Roger D share their insights on community building, and these guys really rapidly scaled up. At this time, they were the number one sellers in the entire Warrior Plus platform, with the biggest numbers of everybody. And that comes down to being able to, to build a community of people, how to engage that community, how to sell to them over and over again. And not in a way that's like, hey, I'm just slamming offer after offer out to their audience. It's more like just continue to deliver the value that their audience is demanding from them, and how to just keep giving them what they want and making money. Maria Goodelis and Tina Williams talk about scalable and saleable businesses and in an offline marketing situation, how to sell consulting. We have Dr. Ben, one of our favorites here, and a great sponsor for this event from the very beginning. I don't know that this was Dr. Ben's first stage experience, but it could have been. I mean, it very well might have been. But Dr. Ben's been a big supporter of the Warrior event from the jump, from the first one through the last one. And this was his actual Warrior event stage time, talking about product stacking and how to really turn up the volume in terms of sales and profits, and nobody does it better than Ben in my estimation. This guy went from just getting started in the business to building one of the most popular brands in internet marketing very, very quickly through being able to keep people in his world. So you're going to learn how he does that. Russ Ruffino and Adam Nolan teach their escape plan, how to escape from working a job you hate and turn it into dollars. And Russ and Adam are both just incredibly great guys. Russ was our live blogger for 2011. Nobody really knew. And again, another story of a guy coming back the next year as a speaker. Russ now is doing unbelievable volumes of business, teaching and consulting. And it just goes to show you that when you pay attention to this stuff, you come and you watch these videos and see what these people have to say, your career can really take off. And then we have the living legend of marketing himself, Mr. Willie Crawford. Willie's been in this business as long as there's been a business to be in, and joint ventures are a big part of that, how to get people to follow through and do what you need them to do. Willie's going to teach you all about that in this session. And our final session for the day was our bonus expert panel, and we had an incredible cast. Looking across, we've got Valerie Duvall, we've got Gary King, we've got the two rock stars, Dr. Dan and Ben Littlefield. That's Michael Torbert over here from, actually I'm wearing his shirt from Simplify Plugins, all-in-one SEO, the most popular WordPress plugin in the world. A local Raleigh guy and a friend of Sam England, my partner Sam. So Michael is there, and we'll talk to you about his experience being the #1 downloaded plugin of all time. Mike Cowell's there he is. That's the internet marketing legend Sean Casey sitting right there. Next to him, you can't really see her there. There's a better shot of her. That's Jen Spencer. And Ross Goldberg, none other than Ross, former partner of mine. Here I am back there. So this is a great expert panel session. You'll get a lot out of it listening to all of the experience and wisdom from everybody. And that wraps up Raleigh 2012. So let's go to the first Warrior event for Sam and I. And I won't play this video for you, but it's a great little quick rundown of all of the different sessions, right? And all the different photos of everybody. Let's quickly zoom through each of these. Brian Zimmerman starts us off with getting, the roadmap for success and how to get prepared, make things happen. Mario Brown electrified the audience. This was his first live speaking engagement, and his story of telling his story of meeting his family and his brother that he'd never met before, and his father in Raleigh there when he came to the event, and meeting them that weekend for the first time. The room literally just exploded into spontaneous standing ovation. It was just so electrifying in the room, and you'll see when you watch the event. Mario, it's very clear why Mario's gone on to be so successful and do his own series of live events that have been very popular. So you'll love that one. Colin Theriault, no beard, way before there was a Cult of Copy. Colin was one of our first speakers at the first Warrior event, and his superhero storytelling system is really about how to build up your authority and become a guru in people's eyes, sort of the prototype for how he would go on to build the Cult of Copy later on. So it's a lot of fun for those of you who are now fans of Colin's to go back and see him predict the future effectively. And of course, we loved having him as part of that. Mike Carraway teaches WSO selling strategies and how to dominate selling WSOs and Warrior special offers. Brad Spencer and his very first live speaking experience there, and where he's wearing those little toe shoes that I gave him the nickname Footins because of what he was wearing on his feet during this one. Hilarious session from our good friend Tim Castleman. We've been quoting this one for years, ever since. Some of the lines Tim drops out of his mouth during this live event are still being repeated by friends and colleagues to this day. So don't miss Tim's session. Ron Douglas, another mastermind partner of mine, teaches his methods of leveraging his authority in the market and selling one of the most well-known cookbooks in the world, his favorite recipes, into a huge, just a huge empire, really, a publishing empire. We're talking a Simon & Schuster, a traditional publishing deal, getting on all the major TV stations like Fox and, all of that. real world marketing stuff. And Ron is such a low key guy. It's very rare that you get to hear him tell his story. You have to drag it out of him almost. Jason Fladlin, a brilliant marketer, $1 million marketer himself, talks about memberships. And another guy with a real feet on the ground kind of sensibility, but an enormous amount of talent. And in the years since 2011, Jason's Rapid Crush business has exploded. He was making good money then, but he's really making great money now. And so it's another great sort of benchmark to look at how it went from here to where it's gone. Brian Rose gives us a session, and it's worth pointing out that, Brian Zimmerman and Brian Rose, when they were both speakers here for our first Warrior event, there was no JV Zoo yet. JV Zoo was invented at this event. Warrior Event 2011 is where Chad Castleman, Brian Zimmerman, and Brian Rose got together and actually created and invented JV Zoo. There was no JV Zoo. Warrior Plus was the platform everybody was using to sell on the Warrior Forum. So it's just a funny moment. And Brian was teaching webinar strategies in those days, and webinar swaps was just beginning. And so all of that was just kind of gelling together. Really great moment in time. And so you'll enjoy his session there. Michael Hiles, he heckles everybody all throughout all the videos. So you hear EBR constantly all weekend. Michael Hiles is one of the smartest business development, growth, and acceleration guys I know. I managed to convince him to come out and talk about the 50,000 foot view and really, kind of wake people up to marketing strategy and how to think strategically in their business to grow beyond these sort of 6-week launch events into the bigger, wider, and more profitable business model. So Michael's just got a super, super smart session for you. Now, I did my own session this year, but I brought along a couple pals, none other than Mr. Ven Montello and Mr. David Deutsch, two superstar copywriters. David Deutsch in particular is one of the A-list copywriters you can count on one hand, one of the top 5 in the world, really. And Ven, not to take anything away from my pal Ven is a superstar online copywriter, one of the very top guys in the business, along with Kevin. Some that just dominated ClickBank for years with all the big launches. And so Ven and David and I really dig into what I call the copywriter's confessional, where we talk about how to make stuff sell, why people get hung up with copy and where they get it wrong. We take a lot of audience questions about how to make your copy do more work for you, work better. And then the final session was my partner Sam, teaching some of his secrets about drop shipping and e-commerce, which most of you who know Sam know. Sam has been very successful for, years and years, or like 10 years now in the e-commerce world. And so he drops a lot of knowledge on people about how to set up e-commerce stores and do drop shipping, which has now become very popular, but at the time in 2011 was sort of overlooked in the information marketing world, and a lot of the WSOs people were selling just simply didn't have anything to do with drop shipping. Now in the world of Amazon and some of the other opportunities that exist, everybody's getting hip to what Sam's been teaching for a long time. So that is all the speakers. And our first live mastermind session is what kind of created the whole expert panel thing that all the events do now and everybody does. We had this first live mastermind with Brad Goss, with Mike Lance from Warrior Plus, and with Mike Cowles. 3 super sharp guys. We couldn't give them actual sessions. We ran out of space in time to be able to have them as actual full speakers, but we thought, let's bring them up and do a mastermind and let the audience talk to them, and that's exactly what we did. So a ton of great information shared, a lot of fun on that session, and that is, in fact, the very last session for Warrior Event 2011, our very first Warrior event. So to very quickly touch base on the previous events, Jack Tackett, there are no videos from the 2009 event in Raleigh, which is where Jack held the other one before he turned the reins over to us for 2011. And like I mentioned before, Eric Louviere, he has been kind enough to share his videos with the audience here from his event in 2008 in Austin. And of course, you've got Marlon Sanders, Willie Crawford, Dr. Mike, Matt Basak showed up there. It was funny to see him there. And then again in 2014, Keith Baxter, Kevin Wilkie from Nitro Marketing in those days, Mark Hardy, Jordan Hall, Brian Cause, Mike Young, Craig Perrine, Goer Chaudhry, Jeff Diedrich, and another Q&A session. So thank you, Eric Stud Louvier, for your kind support there. Now what I want to do is show you how to navigate around in the site real quick. We took the time to really carefully tag everything inside so that you could skip around. I mean, I just went through a ton of material, right? All of these speaker sessions, probably not all things that you're particularly interested in. So we've tagged everything out to try and make it easy for you to pick just the things that you're most interested in at any given time. Like, let's say, hey, I want to learn about copywriting. So you click copywriting, and now it's going to bring up just the sessions about copywriting. Colin in 2014 and Kevin Rogers, they go in descending order of time. So the top ones are going to be the newest ones, all the way down to Colin here in 2011. And the same panel is on all the sidebars, and you can skip to the speaker panel as well. Let's go to a bigger, broader one where you can get all of them. This is all the different tags and topics, all of the different speakers, again, from all the different events and all of the panelists. So if you want to know, like, where does Greg Caesar appear? Well, you click Greg Caesar's name, and you'll see that he was on Expert Panel Day 1 and also in his own session. All right, well, how about Brian Rose? Well, how many sessions is EBR on? Well, he's got his own here. He was on Expert Panel Day 2 here, and he's got his own session here. Topics like, well, let's take a peek at sponsors, because the sponsors were so important for us in our event. Let's just give them a moment's credit. There's a special sponsor page, which we've probably left a few out, and we apologize. We just didn't have logos handy and information. But JV Zoo, our premier partner, through the big parties that made this such a legendary event. We could not have done it without these guys. And of course, there was nothing to do without us, because there was no JV Zoo until we got everybody together at the Warrior event. So just an incredible group of guys, an incredible platform they're on their way to $100 million in gross sales revenue through their platform. I could not be prouder of them. They deserve every bit of success that they're having. Of course, our partners at Get Response, another premier sponsor who's been with us from the jump to make this successful. Warrior Plus, Mike Lance, another sponsor at every single event, making it a big deal. Product Pay was with us for 2012 in Orlando. Managed WP, another sponsor, thanks to them as well. And of course, Stephen Odette with Rapid Member Pro, giving away very valuable licenses to his excellent software. InstyMe and Nick Jolin was one of our recent sponsors, the guys from Mojo Video as well. Info Marketing System, that's Teddy Garcia, who's given away tons of value and tons of information. Brad Goss from Vector Tunes generously gave away tons of value at the events, as well as discount coupons, good for getting free Vector Tunes. Dr. Ben is giving away gadgets and Kindles and iPads and iPods and just a ton of stuff. Kinster, another incredible sponsor, giving away an iPad to the folks there. So, I mean, just great sponsors, great people, generous to a fault. Couldn't have done it without them. And that really forms the basis of what you're going to find in here. I don't want to waste your time. I've already shared with you all that you get inside here. It's one simple payment. You get everything that's in here. It's our way of saying thank you for being with us all these years, for coming to these events, or if not coming to them, to at least paying attention to them. And it's our way of letting you share in the incredible knowledge and success that we've all enjoyed as a result of these Warrior events. So do the right thing, be smart, click the button, grab your access. It's full, unrestricted access to everything, all of the sessions inside the Warrior event video archive. And I wish you only the greatest success. On behalf of my partner, Sam England, enjoy. We are super proud to have been part of this and for it to have turned into what so much better than we ever thought it could be, so much bigger than we ever hoped it would be. And so we thank you for your time and your attention, and we look forward to showing you everything that we learned during these live Warrior events. So this is Brian McLeod signing off. Look to see you on the inside.